Rise and shine, my friends. It is time to wake up. This is the Rise and Shine Show. My name is Sandy Jacquard, and I'm a holistic health and lifestyle coach. We gather here in this space, Facebook Live, every morning at 8 a.m. to explore what lies beneath the surface of this great awakening, this great interruption. So welcome, come on in, get comfortable. This is your time. This is your space. So I just invite you to settle in, check in with yourself, put your hands on your heart, feel that calmness and silence that's deep inside. Good morning, Mary Lou. How are you? Good morning, Annabelle. How are you ladies this morning? Drinking my lemon water. So welcome to the show. Sorry, first time I talked. I should warm up my voice every morning with some exercises. I guess this is my warm up. I feel like I spend most of the day talking. Good morning, Nikki. How are you doing? How are you? So here we use the space to check in, and we check in so that we can be perceptive of the feedback that is coming in at all times. There's always feedback coming in. There's always feedback coming out from our depths, right? It's like even just waking up and what our body's feeling and what thoughts are just in your mind when you wake up in the morning, like what's there, right? Just having a little time, even if you don't have this space, even if this space isn't forever, I don't know, we don't know. But even if it's not, I hope that you take with you the value in making some space to look. To just check in. I don't know, maybe you're someone who meditates regularly. I'm not. I'm not. I always thought how cool if I was somebody who meditated regularly. And yes, I have had good bouts of meditation times, like where it was every day for, I did some kind of challenge and it just became a thing for a while. And it is nice. I liked it at the time. Now I'm doing something different with my mornings. I'm doing the morning pages, trying morning pages, which is just basically writing 3 pages of just whatever comes up. But the requirement is get 3 pages of whatever comes up. So that's kind of my morning practice. I always have a morning practice of some kind. And the point is, and there's your opportunity too to check in, like what is your morning practice? Do you have a morning practice? What is the benefit of having some type of morning practice? What is the intention behind having a morning practice, right? Maybe this is part of your morning practice. And what are we practicing? What are we practicing anyways? So what I'm referring to is just some time to connect with your higher self. Whatever that looks like for you. Because there's our real human doing self that just kind of jumps into the world and, gets taken up by a whirlwind. Maybe you got kids waking you up or 5 cats or, the dog or whatever, an alarm. I don't know. You got things waking you up and you get swiped up into your day. And maybe you wake up and you realize, whose life is this anyways? And how did I get here? Right? What am I doing here? I didn't choose this. Yet you did. You're choosing it every single day. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And every time you're saying no to something, you are saying yes to something else. It's the same as when you flip it, right? So when you are, not consciously choosing what you're doing in your life, not consciously choosing how you're spending your time, or not consciously choosing to check in and connect with your higher self, then you're kind of just left up to whatever, whatever pushes you one way or another, right? But imagine being like an oak tree, grounded somewhere, grounded and rooted, having that support and that trust, that integrity of nice, strong, solid roots coming from there, and having your branches be able to be blown around and flowing, right? And blown and broken, maybe a couple broken, and growing towards the light. Imagine yourself like an oak tree, right? that this is your time. This is your time to get grounded, to root into like who you really are. What is your integrity and your truth? What matters the most? And what feedback are you getting? Is your life an expression of your heart? Is that feel in alignment? Good morning, Melissa and Janet. Krishani, is that how you say your name? I've been kind of looking at it the last few days. I'm happy to have you here and scared that I'm going to mess up your name. Good morning, Blanca. What's up? So is your life reflecting what your heart feels? How do you know? How do you know if it's what your heart feels? And do you take time to check in? What about you? Do you have a practice where you check in with your higher self, where you check in with what your heart space is telling you, what your heart wants, your soul? Let me know in the comments below if you have a practice and what that might look like for you. You know, maybe it is meditation. Maybe you talk to yourself. I like to talk to myself. You know I do, especially in the shower, in the car. It's always a bummer, though, when someone walks in and you don't know they're there in the shower. I mean, when they're in the room, you're just like, that's embarrassing, but it happens. And then, you know, I do my morning pages right now. That's another way to check in with myself. And really, it's just about, like, just getting it all out. Just let it flow out on the paper. And sometimes it gets to be a creative space. Oh, awesome. I'm so happy I didn't destroy that. Thank you for being here. Krishani, what a fun name, too. Mary Lou, I pretty much wake up by one of my little ones, 6:30. And I feel like I should have kept my regular schedule at 5:30, but I feel exhausted. I feel my time, come on, there we go, is mine. I want a new practice. Awesome. Like, this is a great, oh, fuck it. Sorry. You're not a fucker, but you kind of are. Where did you go? You know I have crazy, I let the cats out this morning. I let the cats out of the bag. And they like to climb my leg. And it doesn't matter if I have clothes on or not, especially that one. And if I'm like making food on the counter, they'll climb me, like literally climbing up me while I'm trying to get the food ready. It is insane. I hope they don't keep doing that as they grow up. This would be a disaster. And for those of you who don't know, I'm fostering 5 kittens. Mary Lou, thank you for bringing that up. I know you're not alone. Right? Like, just maybe you've gotten kind of swiped into the COVID routine and you're ready to be intentional. You're ready to make a switch. Let's do it. You know, no better time than now. What's stopping you? What's stopping you? So when you're ready to make something shift, imagine first what that might look like. Like, okay, well, what do you want to experience in your morning? Oh my gosh, you look like trouble this morning. That one's Gizzy. That one's one of the ones that's staying. And she is a monster right now. And she's really distracting. This is why I don't let them out in the morning. So yeah, so here we are. We're taking a minute. We're checking in. Like, what's up with our mornings? My morning, let me tell you, there's a time where I woke up when I woke up, and it was like around 7, which is super late for me now. And it was like I had to wake up. And usually it was like somebody had to go to school or something. So I had to be like, I had to get up. And I would just drag myself to get my coffee. And I'd get in the car, and I'd be so cranky and snappy. I couldn't really handle a whole lot, you know, because you're just already just like pulled into it. And everyone's asking you for something. And where's my this? And where's my that? And, you know, you forgot to do this. Which I probably heard every single morning because I felt like I was always forgetting something or off. You know, I was like never quite up to par with what I was supposed to be doing as a mom. Like, did you do my this? Did you sign my thing? Oh, no, actually, I don't even know where it is. You know, so yeah, that's how the mornings always started. Always kind of like already feeling like partially a failure. And you know what really changed my... really what changed that up was when I started that like 5-second rule from Mel Robbins. She has that 5-second rule, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you just do it. You just get up, you know. And And I haven't gone back since, like really have not gone back since, almost to where it's like, you know, my husband's like, you know, can't you ever just stay in bed? And I'm like, no, I can't. The world's calling me. I got to get up. Right. So all that is just being intentional about the mornings, right? And just being like, I get up at this time, and then when your alarm goes off and your eyes open, you do the 5, 4, 3. I don't do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at all anymore. I don't need to do that or anything. I just do it. I just get up. But it started out like, and I only probably did that a few times, but it was kind of the idea of it. All right, I'm going to make my morning intentional. This matters, especially when you have a family, especially when you have kids, because you really just have so little time to yourself. So if this is the monster, this little fur ball right here. So you can tell. No, she's going to jump on the phone now. Right, so... So really just getting that time in before your family, having, even if it's 20 minutes of peace, like imagine what that would do for you. Imagine 20 minutes of peace in the morning before the chaos. Oh my God, good thing they're cute. Imagine what that would do for you. Can you think of that? And I know you're like, no, but the lounging in bed is just so nice. I just want to lounge in bed. But is it? Like, but is it? Like, it is, right? But then can you imagine how beneficial checking in with yourself and having some time, right? And maybe there's some days you are your bedtimes, or maybe you get up and you write out your stuff, and you lay in bed again, and that's fun for you. But right, it's just really like, let's get honest with ourselves. Like, you want to be where? You want to be doing what? You want to be more in shape, or you want to be someone who has time to do your smoothies and your celery juice and your water. You know, you want to be someone that feels good in your body and takes care of yourself. You want to be a professional. You know, I want to take charge of my business, and I really want to organize this, and I really want to be like a mom that feels a little more on top of it, right? Like, what is it? Where do you want to be? You know, somewhere, right? Somewhere. Where do you want to be? Tell me. You can tell me in the comments. I'm curious. You know, as I stretch myself in my business, you know, this is new to me to be an entrepreneur, right? Somebody who's like, I have to motivate myself. I have to show up a way I've never shown up before, right? It causes you to, well, you get the opportunity to question and challenge yourself in all ways, right? Because you're like, how do I have to be? How do I have to think? How do I have to do? Like, what are my routines, right? What are my routines? Let me ask you this. So you think about where you want to be. I want to be in a healthy relationship with somebody who is like is stoked on me as I am on them, right? I want connection, and I want to be someone who's super confident and just walks around and is like, just glows confidence and health and vitality, right? Like, right. So where are you sitting at? So where do you want to be? Okay, think about that for a second. Imagine that person. What do they look like? How do they walk? What do they wear? How do they talk? You know, are they like, oh my God, I'm just saying this is most of my life. This is me most of my life, like, you know, or are they like standing up? What are they eating? What are they drinking? How are they at parties? How are they in social events? You know, are they the sloppy drunk one? You know, are they pissing on themselves? Like, what are they? Like, really, what does this look like? Do they sleep until noon? And this is not to judge. This is feedback. This is like, let's get real, people. Let's check in with ourselves. Yep, I am getting real. Yep, you're right. If I keep doing this, it is not going to equal this. It's not going to equal that. If I keep doing this, it doesn't equal this. If I keep doing this, it equals what? And I know when you have young ones, it's really hard because you are just surviving every moment, every day. You have so little time to look at yourself, so little time. And there's not time for this. It's already happened. It's happened, and then you're just dealing with the consequences, which is usually guilt and shame, usually, because, you know, you are depleted and you're giving from a depleted place, which means can look like a little less patience, a little more snappy, You know, just not giving your kids your best self. I hate to say it. My kids see probably some of my worst self, some of my very worst self. I hate to say it. It is so true, though. I mean, sometimes I'm just like, who else would I talk to like that? What? Like, it is so wild. Does anyone else experience this? It's embarrassing. I don't even want to tell you this. I just decided to restart my morning routine. I write 10 things I'm grateful for, brain dump, journal, read a mindful book for at least 20 minutes. I've gotten out of the habit and noticed a difference, right? Noticed a huge change in my world. Committed to do it again starting today. Awesome, Nikki. That's great. You know, let's follow Nikki's lead. That sounds amazing. Do a little gratitude, you know, mix it up. I like to, mine's looking a little different right now. Hey, Carrie, how are you? How's your family? Hi, Dana. How are you? And how's your family? Tanya, good morning. And Matt. Mary Lou says, I want to feel as though I'm not stretched thin. I want to feel like a better mom. I want to feel like a professional in my home, like I've got, and not feel so chaotic. Absolutely. Who feels overwhelmed? Who feels overwhelmed? Give me a little emoji in the comments if you feel a little bit overwhelmed, like you just can't quite get your shit together. If only. I want to feel healthy physically and emotionally. Word to that. I am so with you. Who can get on that boat? Who wants to feel, you know, like healthy physically, emotionally, and not like this? The world is running away without them. Yeah, so especially for moms, especially for when you've got so many other people's needs to tend to. I think I might have told you the story. I don't know, but I remember one time when my kids were younger and my dad, you know, he's pretty like sensitive, meaning like emotionally. So he picks up on stuff, right? For better or for worse. And he said, you seem... I'm really worried about you. He like calls me out of nowhere. I'm really worried about you. And this is just me doing my life like normal, like all of us, like just a mom, like everywhere, driving everywhere, doing everything, never catching up, never feeling like you got your shit together, just normal. This is just being a mom. And he says, I'm really worried about you. You seem really stressed. And I can't even tell you exactly still to this day of like why, but that like triggered me so much because I'm like, well, you know, like, first of all, I'm not stressed. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know what you're even talking about right now. I'm not stressed at all. Like, this to me was just like, this is just life. Like, I honestly didn't even, looking back at when my kids were younger, raising the kids, holy shit, I was overwhelmed all the time. I was absolutely stressed. I was drowning in parenthood, like just straight up just lost myself in that. And, you know, I was definitely doing a lot of suffering inside. And, you know, but in it, I just like, honestly, it was just like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, there's no other option here than to get up and take the kids and then drive them there and then do this and then do that and then work and then make dinner and go to the grocery store and pay the bills. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I was offended. I was like, what, do you think I have control over this? Like, I'm just trying to do my life. You obviously don't know what it's like to be like, I was like, I had no room for pausing to even take a look at myself for 2 seconds. Nikki says, very overwhelmed, and I'm an asshole to my kids sometimes. Major mom guilt. Who's an asshole to their kids? Me. Like, how is it that we love these people so much, would do anything for them, and we could be the biggest assholes? Do you know how many times I've said sorry to my kids? So many times. How many apologies? I am so sorry. I shouldn't talk to anybody like that, let alone you. I love you so much. You know, I was just like super overwhelmed. I was busy. I was cranky. And, you know, does that give me an excuse? No, it doesn't. Because guess what? We do have control. We do have some control. We don't have control over everything. But let me tell you, I did not need to have that much on my fucking plate. I did not. I don't care what I thought at the time. I thought my kids had to have every little experience. They needed to be well-rounded kids. And if well-rounded kids are definitely doing junior guards, going every day, they are part of the team and they are doing this, right? They are, right? They are involved in just about everything. They got to do a parent thing there. They got to bring the snack. They got to show up to the birthday party. They got, right? So, right? I did not have to do that. I didn't. I don't care what we think and what we say. And you know what? Go ahead and challenge that part of you that just thinks your kids are going to die if they don't get on this or do this or have also music lessons and, you know, learn another language. Seriously? Can we just gather together as parents and say, this is insane. Like, let's make a stand for each other and being better humans and say, this is insane. Like, let's cut some of this shit off. Let's trim the fat. So we do have some control. We can start to really, this is something I do with clients. If you want to try this out with me, I'm happy to, we can do a little session on this. It's really about honoring your yeses and nos. And I didn't know I was going to talk about this today, but, you know, since we're talking about it, I can't help. We got to talk about it. Annabelle says, overwhelmed, not as a mom, but played lots of roles. Roles. Yes, you are many things, Annabelle. You are a huge supporter, I know, in your family. And when you're in a big family and you have a role in a family, you have so many other people to have relations with, so many relationships going on, and you're something to all of those people, right? You're something. Somehow, maybe you are, a caretaker to this person, or you neutralize this person, or you are supporting to this person, or, right? Like that's so many roles when you have, good morning, Marcy. Good morning, Joseph. Welcome. When you are in a big family, or maybe at a work dynamic, right? Okay, sorry, I just went off track. Well, I was just going to talk to you a little bit about honoring your yeses and nos. This is maybe we'll do a workshop. How does that sound? Do you want to do a workshop on that? That would be fun. Should I write that down? Yes, because I'll forget. Let me just write it down really quick. We're going to honor our yeses and nos. And what that means is happy hump day to you. What that means is having a life, having a schedule that honors your priorities. Imagine that. Imagine that where you put your time and energy is in line with your soul, with your heart. Imagine that. I think we should do a workshop on that. If you're into this workshop, give me an emoji in the comments below, and I will make sure you know about this. I can just hear my coach now. I have a coach too, and she deals with me in that I'm always having ideas, and she's like, okay, so, and I don't make decisions on my ideas, right? I'm just like this and this and this, and then I start all these different things, and my coach helps me like get in priority with the things that are most important. So, are you an idea person? Are you an idea person? Let me know. I want to know this too. Can you relate with this? Where you just always have so many fun ideas and you want to do everything. You want to try it all, and you got this and you want to take that class and you want to try that travel and you want all these ideas, all these things, right? And you tend to feel a little bit like kind of like a failure because you don't carry through all your ideas. But if we get real for a second, it's not even possible. You can't do them all right now. Like, it is not possible. You are raising, 10 kids, and you have a job, you have this, right? It's not possible to do them all. Cool. Yeah, we're in a workshop. We're going to do this workshop. It's going to be fun. Or a master class or something. I'm excited. So we have all these ideas, and can we just, I don't ever make a decision. Is this really going to happen? Is it not going to happen, right? And so my poor coach, I'm like, oh, what about this? And she's like, remember, we're doing this. We're doing this. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, we're going back to okay. And here I am, because she has me planned. She's got me laid out. Thank God, I don't know what I would do without her. She's got me planned out. She organizes my life. Don't you? How valuable is that? So you know what I mean. And then here I am, and I want to throw another ball into it. So I have a feeling she's going to be like, when will you learn? So we'll do a workshop on that. I'm excited. Okay. I was a little all over the place this morning. Maybe I had too much coffee. Probably. What time is it? Are we ready for our reading? Yeah, it's a long one. Give us some time to talk about the reading. I don't want to leave you hanging though, because I talked about so many different things. I just did that, like what I just did in my life. I just did right here. It's like had so many different loose ends, and I kind of want to bring you together. Kelly says, kind of loving your energy today. It seems like I need to go on a walk, doesn't it? Or a run. Good. I'm glad it's entertaining for you at least. Well, I want to, so to tie up all those ends, and you're feeling overwhelmed. I don't want to leave you feeling overwhelmed. That's part of this show is always like, we might explore our darkness, but we're always going to go back to the light. I want to leave you with some action to do, something to do. I want you to take a minute and do a little reflecting on your morning, especially if you're overwhelmed. And I want you to maybe take some notes of like, what is one thing that you would like to bring into your morning, and like how you're going to do that. So this is a little practice for that. So maybe it's like, I want to just spend 20 minutes. Maybe you want to try the morning pages. That's also was recommended. That's why coaches aren't necessary sometimes. She has me doing the morning pages. Why? Because of all my ideas. And she's like, you know what? I want to give you a space to have your ideas. And then I pass this to my clients too. Coaches always need coaches. And I pass that to my clients because it's benefiting me. And anything that's good for me in my life, like I can't help it. I have to share it all with you. Just like the things that aren't good too. I'm like, don't do this. So she's got me doing these morning pages to be able to just spill out my creativity, like the van, right? Like the Rise and Shine van. Like, okay, have your space for the Rise and Shine van. Write all about it. Have that space for that dream trip with your daughter. Write all about it. You know, imagine that dream career, that dream relationship. Write all about it. Give yourself 3 pages just to explore it. And guess what? Sometimes that's great, and that's all you need. Sometimes you do that, and you're like, oh, that was fun. I got to play in that, and you're done with it. And sometimes it comes up again the next day, and you want to write again about that, you know? And again, moms, you can be both. You can be an amazing woman, model of a mom. Dads, too. You can be a kick-ass dad. You can be the best dad, a model of a dad. You know, you can be an amazing mom, and you can be living a life with purpose and living in your calling. You know, if you're like me, one of the hardest parts about being a mom was that I had such a stirring in me always, such a stirring. There was so much I wanted to do and see that I was really conflicted when I was I am still a mom, thank God. I was so conflicted, not really because I just really didn't see any, you know, like this is what I'm doing, obviously. There's no other option here but this, right? I'm reading yours, Mary Lou. But so if you're like me, then you can feel that stirring sometimes, and it can feel so like you feel so bad, like something like it's wrong. It's wrong that I want to go do these things. And I want you to sit with that for a minute. And you know what? If you are feeling that way, try these morning pages. Write out some of the things that you are calling you. Just explore them. Just write about them. Give yourself some space to get them out of your head. Get them onto some paper. And you just open up your mind and heart. Like I talk to you about every single day here in this space. We come with open minds and open hearts. If you have that openness to possibility and you say, you know what, I surrender. I do not know all the answers. I do not know how to figure this shit out. You know, you have anxiety because you're trying to figure it all out. And if I could just figure it out, things would feel so much better. I would feel more relaxed. I'd feel at peace if I could just figure it out. The perfect schedule, you know? If it was like I had time with my husband and then the kids did this and we had family time and we had productive time, we had house cleaning, right? If you could just figure it out, me time. You know what I mean? Do you hear me? But maybe surrendering. Okay, I don't know all the answers. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. Oh my God, that's exactly how I'm feeling. How did I know how you were feeling? How did I know that? Did I get in your head? I don't know all the answers. Just by opening yourself up to possibility that is it possible that I can be living in my truth, be living in with this passion that I have inside of me. You did, she says. I did get in your head. You could have both. You can live a life that is in alignment with your soul, in alignment with your heart, with your passion, while you're parenting still, too. Yes, it is possible. But you've got to believe that there is possibility there. It is even possible. You know, you've got to sometimes break down to break through, right? We got to break down those systems, the things that we think have to be a certain way. To be a mom, it looks like this. To be, you can have both, she says, and with kids. Absolutely, Kelly. Yeah, open yourself up to the idea. And it seems like, well, of course you can, especially if you're not a parent, or especially if you're far away from, as you know, your kids have grown, you know? It's like, well, of course you can. When you're in it, it feels like you're so stuck. This is your life forever. This is all you're gonna do is wipe butts and faces and make food and clean up after everybody and tell them to pick up their shoes for the fucking 15th time. That this is your life. And every tone, every voice, your voice is only this one voice. This one demanding voice. It's like, God, can I ever just have like a nice voice? Right? When you're in the thick of it, it's like that's all there is. Ugh. I feel you. Hey, Ashley. So, all we're doing at this point, we're surrendering. We're giving ourselves some space. We're just going to take a little step out of overwhelm. This is a little baby step out of overwhelm. Take your time in the morning. Even if that means you need to wake up 20 minutes earlier, half an hour earlier. It's okay. You can rewatch, Ashley. Busy all morning since 5:20. Oh, awesome. See, there we go. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about being a mom. We're talking about kids. I call myself Ursula from Little Mermaid with a voice. I know. It's so disappointing, isn't it? It's not who I want to be. Take some time for yourself. If it's not first thing in the morning, pick another time. You know what else a good time is? In the car. When you're sitting between, you went to the grocery store. Oh, I'm just going off to the grocery store. But then you're going to sit in your car for 20 minutes and write some stuff. So take some time for yourself. When they leave, you'll look back and wish for the chaos. Enjoy it while it lasts. You're setting your children's future now. My kids are 22, moving home after weeks. After 4 years, I started bawling so hard I get to a moment again to teach them more lessons, right? Yes, and they need us so much, don't they? Our kids, no matter what age, they always need us, don't they? Okay, so really, I'm really reading this time. Here we are. We're reading out of The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. We're reading today's reading for June 17th, Spirit and Psychology. Even the clearest waters seem opaque at great depth. By Joel Aji, maybe. Each of us is like a great untamed sea, obedient to deeper currents that are seldom visible. Knowing this gives us 3 insights worth keeping in our awareness. First, we must consider that the deepest patch of ocean is as clear as its surface wave, though it remains unseeable to the human eye and eye that bobs above it. Second, that was weird. I gotta start that over again. First, we must consider that the deepest patch of ocean is as clear as its surface wave, though it remains unseeable to the human eye that bobs above it. Second, how far we can see into the depth depends on the calmness or turbulence of the surface. Yes. And third, just as the depth and surface of the sea are inseparable, so too are the spirit and psychology of each human being. It is our deep surrounding, untamed currents that... Nope. It is our deep sounding, untamed currents that cause us to rise and swell, dip and crash. Yet the base of spirit remains unaffected by the storms that churn up the surface. It obeys a deeper order. Still, we as beings living in the world are always subject to both the depth and the surface, or our spirit and our psychology. Though we can never see all the way to the bottom on clear days. When our psychology is calm, we can know the depth that carries us. When free of turbulence and anxiety, we can know the ocean of God that swells within. So in love and relationship, in the brief clarity that living gives rise to, I see all the way through you, as far as my sight can go, and am forever changed. Then the winds come from the east, and suddenly you're all churned up. Your depth seems blocked, and I wonder who you are. This happens in the course of knowing oneself as well. It is unavoidable. Watch any patch of sea. It is never completely still. Even when calm, it reflects everything as it spreads and never vanishes. So too are feelings which keep changing in the light. The degree to which we are clear and seeable depends on how calm we are and how calm the day. But we are never cut off from our spirit, any more than the surface wave is cut off from the ocean floor. Fear of living often comes when we place all our energy into the moment of the wave, into the turbulent moment of our psychology. If revelation is the brief experience of seeing through the surface into ourselves or others, then wisdom is the recall of that seeing when the waters are murky. Sorry, that was a little rough, but we got through it. Yeah, right? The value in connecting with that spirit, with soul, with yourself in there, right? That value. We are never separate from that. And it can feel like it sometimes, right? It can really feel like we lose sight of that depth, right? You know the depth I'm talking about. You feel that right? Like we were talking about the oak tree. It's like that. What is real? It's like the groundedness, the absolute. Like what is just non-negotiable. It's just so solid inside of us. Really, that's what it's all about. We're in life, and life is never going to be that it's just all clear. It's never going to be that way. It's always going to be changing, and every single moment and every single day it really comes down to how connected, how we still know that, how we still believe that, how we can feel that, how, right? So it's like in every storm, in every current, in each day that it brings us some different obstacles maybe in grounding to that truth and connecting to that truth. And and then it goes just like us, and then what we're doing here, and we talk about as a holistic health and lifestyle coach, right? That's what I see. That's all it's about. It's like when your wellness and how we get to experience life has everything to do with how we just adapt in our each moment, in our each day, and how we can find that connection, see that connection and find that clarity or not, or, just how we are surviving in that, right? In the storm, in the turbulence of the waters. And, so what I'm saying, like, when you don't sleep at night and you go night after night without getting good sleep, that could challenge you from having the clarity, from finding that clarity and feeling that connection. When you are eating like crap day after day and you're drinking too much, when I drink, I lose sight to that feeling of connection. I don't feel that the solid, the integrity of that relationship, of that clarity, right? The surface into the depths. That connection feels a little shaky when I don't take care of myself as much, right? When I'm doing things and I'm not being kind and I'm not being a nice person, right? That connection can be, again, turbulent or murky. So I really go back to just like when in a holistic way, all we're doing is we're trying to, live this best life possible. We're trying to feel the best we can, Like really, just physically feel good, energetically. He's eating my earrings. Energetically and emotionally and physically, physiologically, or all of it. We're just trying to feel good so that we can have a deeper connection. And even when we don't feel good and we're not there, do we know it's there? And do we know it's unchanged? It's unchanged. It's just a matter of how we get to experience it. Do we get to really feel that clarity and that connection? And when my lifestyle wasn't aligned with that inner knowing, my soul, when my lifestyle wasn't aligned, I could feel that. I can feel that when it isn't, when I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not resting myself, I'm not taking time to listen to the feedback that my body and my psyche, my emotions are telling me, right? And I can lose connection and I can get off my balance, But, reconnecting or just trusting in those moments where you feel completely disconnected because, you don't feel good. I'm having a hard time feeling it. I can't see it. All I feel is I feel like shit. And I feel like nothing's ever going to be different. I don't feel good. But can you trust that it's still unchanged? It's unchanged. That light inside of you, that glow inside of you, is still there. But how can we connect with it deeper? How do we want to feel it? We want to feel it. It feels so good. It feels so good when you are in connection with your soul, when you're in connection with your higher self, your purpose. And so going back to, sometimes it's not just going on some spiritual awakening. Sometimes it's not going on some spiritual retreat and meditating for 2 hours a day. That's not the only thing you got to do to, connect with the depths, your truth, what doesn't change inside of you. Sometimes it is simply, having some stuff in your life, in your surroundings, in your routine that help you connect with it further, right? That help you connect with your depths, Maybe it's clearing the murky waters by cleaning out a little, cleaning yourself up a little, drinking your lemon water to detoxify the toxins in your body and, having your fruit smoothies to help heal and repair and, anti-age and antioxidant, right? Anti-oxidize. Maybe it's getting outside and having some fresh air and So this could be clearing the murky waters or just doing the little things. It doesn't have to be some science of everyone does the same thing. It's different for everybody. Depends on where you're at. Marcy's bummed she went to work without her celery juice and smoothie. Snacking on jalapenos and cornbread. I know, it's interesting how when you start the day off a certain way, it's easier to, even your cravings, everything. It's like if you started off with cornbread, you're probably, you're going to be craving a pork burrito in about 2 hours. Yeah. It's interesting if I do my stuff, even if I don't feel like it, because this is what it's become. It's like, do you think I always want to have celery juice in a smoothie every morning? No. Absolutely not. Like I don't today. I haven't even had it yet, and I'm putting it off, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done because I know it sets me up for the rest of my day. It makes a night and day difference. Otherwise I start to eat other things like snacky kind of foods. I'll have just like hummus and crackers for lunch. You know, my amount of fruits and vegetables diminishes big time if I really. So this guy's such a little love, isn't he? Oh, that's not gonna be a fun game, is it? Okay. So yeah. So I don't know. Did that make sense? How did that make sense? That what you took away from the reading, and then because that's where it went for me. It was just kind of like, well, having some faith in even when you feel and you can't see that it's there, or how about even just like you are not that emotion. You are not that, you are not an asshole. You are not, really, like this might be, that's a symptom, right? Like that's a symptom. Like you're walking around, you're not being an asshole. You're not an asshole. Your depths is not, you are not a cranky negative B word. No, that's not. No, what is you is unchanged, and it is in the depths, in the very depths of who you are. This surface stuff, what face you give the world, if it's a resting bitch face, I've been guilty of that most of my life. If it's a resting bitch face, if it's a victim, you feel sorry for yourself all the time. Whatever it is, if it's just like I'm just kind of like unmotivated and I'm just not, I have no value, whatever this is that you're wearing on the outside is the surface. It is not you. It's not you. Isn't that a relief? All these feelings that you have about everything, all these feelings, and maybe you don't like all the feelings, maybe you're feeling judgmental and you're jealous and you're comparing, or you're feeling some not nice thoughts, or you're driving around the road and having road rage. That is not you. It's a behavior. It's a symptom, right? It's the surface. It's that turbulence on the surface. But what lies in the depths is you, is what is real. Okay. So let that sit for a minute. I remember learning that and changed my life. All right, we're going to wrap it up. But first, a couple of things I want to tell you. Exciting things. Today is the Glow Show. I've got the Glow Show, and we're moving the times. Today is going to be at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I've got very special guests. And as most of you know, my very close friend, Carina coming on with me. We're going to be talking about, that inner strength. Like, where do you tap into that, right? We love the black kitty. How do you tap into that? So the Glow Show, for those of you who don't know, the Glow Show is about that inner, that glow, right? The depths, that inner light, that comes from within you. Not the surface stuff, not all the stuff that we need to, like, I need this for this just make me feel good, right? All these things outside of ourselves. Not that. I'm talking about how to how to tap into that core, really just kind of what we've been talking about right now. So the Glow Show is tapping into your inner glow. And what we're doing on the show is we're bringing in tips, tools, resources that help you tap into your inner glow. Carina is a perfect example of a resource of someone who inspires that inner glow to shine brighter, and really someone who she really inspires light. Like she's a trainer, personal trainer, athlete, fitness coach. She trains, does classes. So we're going to talk to her. It's really her gift. Her gift is really igniting inner light. And really, if you're someone who, maybe you're feeling like you don't have any like fire, and you're just like blah, and you're just like, and I can't get myself to work out, and I just have no confidence, right? You just have no confidence. then she is, oh my, okay, that was my eyeball you just bit. What is your deal? That is her specialty. Like, she's the one who, I've said, and this is how I experienced her. She's like that, like the gasoline on the fire, you know? Like, so if you just have a little tiny little flicker, she's like, shh, and you're like, oh, wow, you know, like, whoa, where'd this come from? Like, that's her gift. I don't even know, like, what a fun gift to have, but that's her gift. And so I want you to join me live, and, you know, you can ask questions if you want, but join us live. It should be fun, because we're really, really close friends, too. So it just, who knows, it could be super weird. It could be really weird, so you might want to come and watch. And you're going to find us here on Facebook, right on this page. Would love to have you share. If you're watching and you want to do a watch party, you can try that. Tanya says, I really want to meet her and try her class. Absolutely, and we'll even we'll get into that too, like how you can meet her, how you can try her classes, how you can work with her, because maybe you're ready for your inner flame, to see how strong you are. Let's see what you're made of. Let's see what you're capable of, even if you haven't worked out or anything. So join us for that. And I had something else, but I kind of forgot what it was. So, okay, that's all then. So thank you for being here. I wonder what it was. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, it's okay. But for now, have an amazing Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here, as always. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 8 a.m. for the Rise and Shine Show. Feel free to share this with your friends if you found it helpful at all and you want to bring them into the tribe. Let's share it. Let's share the love. All right. Bye for now.